Hey y'all, welcome to Being Trans with Lilith and Amanda. I'm Lilith, that's Amanda, and today we got a question and we're going to answer it. We're going to try to just, help people out as they're navigating these confusing times and figuring themselves out. And how you doing today?
I'm good. I want to help the people. I want to help the people.
All right, let's ask. Here's a good question. You ready?
I want to hear the question. Yeah.
How do you navigate sticker shock when switching to women's clothing sizes? Trigger warning, discussion of weights, heights, specific sizes, body image, eating disorders, etc. My cis woman girlfriend is trans. This person is cis and their girlfriend is trans, and fairly early in her transition, so she's still building a base of wardrobe of girls' clothes. She has a history of disordered eating, and this plus dysphoria-related body image issues making the change in clothing sizes, the little number on the label from men's S to women's XL, extremely triggering. She's tall by any gender standard, about 6 feet, and she's very thin, like the bare minimum healthy weight for her height. Her size in women's clothes is all due to heights and bones. The fact that she fits a women's size 12, 14, or XL, and thus straight sizes that most brands carry, is, of course, a privilege. But I sympathize with the sticker shock that comes from going from S to XL overnight. Does anyone have any advice for what helped them make peace with size changes as they transitioned?
I do. I have a little advice for that.
That's why we're here.
First of all, I want to precursor by this by saying that I misinterpreted out of the gates what this meant. I thought when they said sticker shock, I meant that usually refers to price.
Right.
And I thought that's what they were talking about. But that's not what they're talking about. They're talking about like the sizing. So her girlfriend was a men's small and now is a women's XL. Yeah. Well, the easiest way to get over that, and it's another one of those things where it's easier said than done, is to not give a flying fuck what the tag says. Who cares? Yeah. It doesn't matter. And that is the thing, is that's just a label. You can say that doesn't matter, and I can say that it's just don't worry about it. That's like the kind of advice that your mom gives you when you're a teenager and someone's making fun of you. They're just saying, well, just ignore them. It doesn't really help. Yeah. But the thing about that is, in this case, is as you're not a child and you have been around the block a little bit and you have grown up, and if you've already got body issues and all that and dysphoria, as just about every trans person does, I get it. However, take a little extra solace in the fact that there is no standard for women's sizing. There is no uniform thing. It is absolutely the most arbitrary, off the wall. I fit comfortably in mediums and 2XLs that were the same size. When I went to a wedding last year, I had to get a 5XL dress, which was the biggest that they had. I got initially an XL and a 2XL just to be safe, and thinking I would fit into the XL, and I couldn't even get it on.
I remember that.
It was just and it was crazy. But then also I can fit into an M, depending on the brand. So none of that matters. The only thing that matters, and this is true regardless of gender, the only thing that matters is, does it look good on you? Does it fit well? And here's the thing, is clothes that fit well on you look good. So, and they make you look good. So especially disregard that. And don't let that get to you, because it's literally the most arbitrary thing there is. And you shouldn't feel bad if you're 6 feet tall and you have to wear a large. That's another thing too, is a lot of trans women that I know, they have dysphoria about being tall, but you shouldn't. I'm tall. I'm 6 feet tall, and I love it. I love towering over men. I love watching the looks on their face when their eyes get a little, when you can see them. Some of them get intimidated and others get excited. But the reality is, tall women are hot as fuck, and everyone thinks that. So you don't have to worry about it. But of course, we all have that fantasy where we want to be little and we want to be held and and all that stuff. But you're skinny, so you got that going for you. Lilith?
Yeah, Lilith, you're tall and not skinny. Like, I am not.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
Here's what I would say. So, obviously it doesn't help just be like, we'll just get over it. But it's like, I saw a picture the other day. It was just like 6 pairs of jeans that were all size 12. And the smallest pair of size 12 was half the size of the largest size 12. So realize that women, not only are women's like not regulated, but a lot of times they're set up to make you feel like there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, they do
like
that on purpose.
You buy a pair of men's jeans. How do you pick it? You measure your waist, you measure your inseam, and then the sizes are just, here's your waist, here's your inseam. If those numbers match your waist and inseam, that pair of pants will fit you. That's how men's pants are. Women is a size 12. What does that mean? No one knows. It just means whatever. So
women have such dramatically different body shapes too, when compared to men. Like, I mean, definitely men have different body types too.
I think another thing for
women
this person,
even more so.
Yeah, if they're 6 feet tall, because I've run into this, women's pants don't tell you how long they are.
They sure don't.
So you get that, and they just come down to your shins because apparently all women are the same height or whatever. But here's some things. So one place I like to shop, I'll go like Torrid, and Torrid's like a plus size thing, but they're just like
is that an online thing or is that a real life?
There are brick and mortars. There are brick and morties, but you can order online and have it shipped to you, or order online and have it shipped to the store and stuff. But like their sizes are like 1, 2. Like I'm a size 2 for Torrid. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, right. Holy shit. But so if it's like the number that's like making you feel that way, like I said, first thing, remember, I honestly believe like women's clothes are sized that way to make women feel insecure about who they are. And that's why the sizes are so weird and the sizes are so unregulated. So find companies, especially for if you're 6 foot tall, you probably run into this to me as well. You find a cute dress online, you buy it, and it fits, except it barely comes past your ass because it was made for someone who was 6 inches shorter than you are. So if you go to like a place like Torrid that sells Torrid, Old Navy, there's another place called Long Tall Sally, and that all depends on your budget for clothes, but they'll have like tall versions of it. So, if it's falling mid thigh on the model in the picture, when you buy it for tall, it'll fall mid thigh on you and not, just past, your crotch. So, kind of looking for companies that work like that. But I'll say the main thing is just realize like, that all of that is meaningless. Like those are made up numbers. Those are made up
just
sizes.
Arbitrary numbers. They mean nothing at all.
I've had some where it's like sometimes it's XL, some companies 2X. I mean, if you order from Japan, like you get an 8XL and it'd still be too small for me because it's made for
China.
People
and a
in
lot
Japan
of stuff's
and
made
China.
in China and Japan.
Yeah.
it's
so it's like impossible. Yeah. So I totally hear you. I totally went through that myself.
Right.
For me, it was about finding places that I liked that kind of fit, what I wanted out of my clothing, and realizing that those numbers are all just made up. They really
totally arbitrary. Yeah. They mean nothing at all.
When I first came out, I had a friend who worked at Old Navy, and actually it was when I was in Alabama. I used to work at a summer camp doing like leadership training with kids and stuff, and one of the people who co-hosted the camp worked at Old Navy and was like, hey, I got to run town. You want to come with me? And they basically just like started throwing clothes at me to try on, basically bought me a full new wardrobe at Old Navy, used her discount. So I got like $400 or $500 worth of clothes for like $150. But the other thing is, once you do that, like now I know all the Old Navy, like how the sizing works for me. So I knew it was like XL tall. And so now, and this kind of gets away from this, but also people are afraid of going out and shopping. Once you know that, anytime you go to Old Navy, one of the nice things is I know that Old Navy XL tall is what fits me.
I've got another hint here while we're on the hints and tips and tricks thing.
Yeah.
So another thing you can do is own a tape measure, get a tape measure, and know what your measurements are. Because when you purchase clothes online, almost always, especially on Amazon, there's like in the photos, there's one of the photos has like a sizing chart, which is for that particular brand and that particular item. And it'll tell you if your measurements are this and this and this and this is the size that you want. And that comes in phenomenally helpful. And you should know how to do your sizing anyway, and you should retake them every month. Because your body changes, and especially when you're trans, and trans women, like, our bodies shift and move around and change so much, and depending on what stage you're in on your transition, and it doesn't even really matter, because I'm more than 5 years in, and my body is constantly in flux. Like, I gain weight, I lose weight, like, it moves around, my boobs grow, they shrink, it's wild. It's wild. It's buck wild. And like, what fits you now is not going to fit you in 3-4 months. Like, it's not going to be the same. So it's especially worthless, those numbers. And that's the best thing you can do. And there's lots of YouTube videos out there that show you the correct way to size yourself and all the measurements that you'll need in order to do that. And it also helps, and in your case, you're lucky because you have a girlfriend and she'll help you with the sizing. So because in order to get like your bust and stuff, sometimes you have to lift your arms and it's really hard to do yourself. So to have someone that can help you to size you is just like one of the best things. That all you need is a tape measure. It's $5.
And it's funny, like you mentioned, like the bust size, the one thing I always look at if I'm buying a dress on Amazon, that's the first thing I look at, because there'll be 3Xs and they won't even come close to my bust size. And I'll be like, well, I know I can't buy this because I've got huge tits and I've got, my pre-transition body frame still working here. So, you just realize that all of that is like, like a size is just a number that's been made up. No two companies are the same, and it's frustrating. If you're buying men's jeans, you can go to whatever jean brand, whatever pants place, and if you're a 34, 32, that 30, you still got to try them on. But that 34, 32, if you're a 34, 32, that fits. If you're buying women's jeans and it's at 14, who knows what 14 means?
Yeah, you don't have any. You have a kind of a guess, like, as to where to kind of aim, and then you just like adjust from there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the part of it, and that's just, there's so many things about transitioning that are good, and so many things that are hard, and this is one of those things where it's kind of in the middle, or it's like, well, it's hard, because it's like it sucks having to replace your entire wardrobe. It's expensive. Like, trans women generally aren't rich, and so it's like it costs a lot of money. You have to buy all these new things, and like I said, especially if you're in the early stages of your transition, your body just changes so much in such a relatively short period of time that, like, what you buy the first 3 months of your transition isn't going to work a year in. Like, it's just not at all. Your body's just going to change so much. You're never going to really know what your size is. You just have to keep doing it. And that's why the measurement thing is such an important, useful tool, because just like that's going to be your best friend, your tape measure. Just have a tape measure. Check your measurements once a month. Just schedule it in there.
And remember that the problem with women's clothing is not your fault. It's not trans people's fault. It's capitalism's fault. And as always, it's like a Scooby-Doo villain. You pull off the mask, and of course, it's capitalism. And that's why women's clothing sucks.
It's an old rich white man.
Yeah. Honestly, what I want to do is, and I might be getting too, can't teach an old dog new tricks. I want to learn how to sew my own dresses and start making them myself.
I mean, that's really the best way. Like, let's talk about this, because this is a hot tip too. Like, for those of you that have a budget, one of the best things you can do, period, is to get your clothes custom fit. In fact, that's how it was done throughout all of history, like up until basically the post-industrial revolution, where things started getting standardized. Like there were jobs like the cobbler who made shoes, and when they made shoes to fit you. They made shoes to order. It's like there was no such thing as a size 10. Like, it was like you went into the cobbler, they measured your feet, and they built the shoes around your foot. And like, same as with clothes. It's like you sewed your own clothes, or you had them made to tailor fit you, hence the term tailor. Like, and they exist, and they're less expensive than you think. They do cost money. You have to pay for it. But if you spend like $20 on a shirt and you get that fitted, that fitting's going to cost you maybe another $15, $20. Like, so you're spending $40 on something that absolutely fits you completely. And if you can do that, like, and get over that initial hump and just factor that into what clothes cost, you're going to look fantastic. And because nothing tops fitted.
I just have to say, I've never had fitted clothes.
I have.
And yeah, of course you have. You're a rock star. You're a rock star. I'm a stand-up.
Southern California.
I'm a stand-up comic. Like, I'm literally garbage. You know, I'm just like
I've been getting my clothes fitted forever.
Performing for beer tickets over here.
But
like, seriously, like, if the opposite end, go to a thrift store, find something that works for you, and realize that you spend $3 on it, and you continue the life of that product, and you can, you know, recycle the clothing when you're done, or donate it back, however you want to do it, or wear it. I've had stuff. I remember the first like women's shirt I bought was this green shirt with like a nice cut down the middle here, and I wore it until like holes wore into it, and then I got rid of it. But it's like, you know, just be open to, like, you know, finding what fits for you, and don't worry about tags. Don't worry about all that stuff. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, put your fashion together. If you,
I mean, use it as a guideline to get you to where you need to get.
Go get it fitted, but just go to a thrift store.
It means nothing.
You're talking over me,
and
but
who sees it?
And I'm going to talk too. Yeah, but hey, like last thing, like I said, yeah, women's sizes are BS. Just be happy. I mean, you know, every body is different, and the other thing I say, you're unhappy with your body. I wish I was 6 feet and skinny, and I bet you there are people who look at me and they're like, I wish I was 6'3" with huge tits. You know, everyone's trade-off.
Someone's jealous of you always.
Be happy of your own journey, and be happy where you are, and you're trans. You've got a girlfriend who loves you and is obviously concerned about you, and so
that's great. That's fortunate. Like, that's super fortunate right there.
Yeah.
Like, and she'll help you, and she is helping you.
And you know who else helped? I think we helped.
I hope we did.
I don't like to, like, it's not about the helping, but, you know, I hope that you know, you have
about the helping. I want to help people.
I mean, but it's not like I'm just like, I help people and no one else can. It's like, I hope you enjoyed this show. You got a little insight about women's clothing, and that you go out and you get something badass. If anyone else has any tips, put them in the comments for sure. I think, you know, collect all the comments you can. I want to hear.
Oh, yeah. Let us know your thoughts. Your hot tips.
I want to hear about trans dudes, what it was like going to buying dude clothes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. I was so relieved to switch over to women's clothes. I hated shopping for clothes for sending mail. Like, I had the worst time. It was, I was endlessly frustrated. I just hated
jeans and t-shirts.
I hated men's clothes.
Jeans and t-shirts.
I hated men's. That's all I had. I did not know. I dressed great. I was extraordinarily fashionable. But it was work. And it was expensive. Men's clothes are so much more expensive than women's clothes. Oh, but yeah, that's another episode.
That is another. I think we should say goodbye now. Bye now.
Bye.